Okay, here's your syllabus for Math 14, Section 3E. Statistical Methods. Catalog Description. This course is an introduction to descriptive and inferential statistics. Students learn how to use measures of central tendency and dispersion among population samples to draw inferences about a population and to compare two or more populations. Discrete and continuous probability density distributions are analyzed, including the binomial, normal, student t, chi-squared, and f distributions. Confidence intervals for population means, proportions, and variance are determined. Additional topics include regression and correlation analysis and techniques of hypothesis testing, including analysis of variance, which is also known as ANOVA. The course includes application of technology for statistical analysis and the interpretation of the relevance of the statistical findings. Applications use data from disciplines that include business, social sciences, psychology, life science, health science, and education. And here is the prerequisite. It's for 4 units. The time and day of the course is Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. to 8:35 p.m. and the location of the class is going to be in room 219, which is the computer lab. My name is Anthony Siciliano. I am the instructor. Here is my email. My office is in room 212, and there is my telephone number and extension. And the student hours are listed below. You have Monday and Wednesday are on Zoom, and those are for my online classes, but it's also for your class as well. So that's my office hours on Zoom. On Tuesday and Thursday, on prior to class, I will be in my office from 5:50 to 6:30 to answer any questions. You can see there below the meeting ID is right here, and it's also located on Canvas. Now, student office hours are for your benefit to help you succeed in the course. Office hours are for you, the student, not for me, as I am available at those times not only to discuss the course, but any questions you have about math courses at the college, your field of study, your transfer plans, and career paths. The best way to reach me is email, and it must be from your student email account. Always include your name and the course in the section. All email contact between students and instructors must be conducted using the student and instructor CMC email accounts. For students, this is accessible via the My CMC portal on the CMC website. Any student email received by faculty from another email account cannot be responded to other than to remind the student to use their school email account. Please also keep in mind that grades cannot be distributed by phone, public posting, public announcement, or by email. Textbook. Now, the textbook is optional. There isn't a physical textbook, but there is a PDF version that I post on Canvas that you can have access to. Now, because an electronic version of this textbook is available on my Stat Lab, you do not have to purchase a textbook unless you choose to do so. What is required, and also stated in the bookstore, is an access code for my Stat Lab, which has an interactive online textbook. The author is Sullivan and Woodbury. The title is Interactive Statistics, Informed Decisions Using Data, 2nd edition, which is available in the CMC bookstore or found online in the MyStat website. Now, there's also a guided notebook to accompany interactive statistics. This is available for free and downloadable on Canvas. So it's also on Canvas, and it's also part of your subscription when you purchase the access code for my Stat Lab. Now, student learning outcomes. Upon successful completion of the class, the student will be able to describe, graph, calculate, and analyze statistical quantities and concepts including data types, levels of measurement, sampling strategies, frequency distributions, parameters, and descriptive statistics. Determine the probability of an event. Use various distributions to estimate parameters for population using samples, and formulate and test a hypothesis including ANOVA. Analyze and make predictions for paired data using the linear correlation coefficient, linear regression, standard error, prediction interval, explained variation, unexplained variation, and total variation. These outcomes will be assessed by questions on the quizzes and the final exam. Grading. Your grade in this class will be determined as follows. Interactive reading, homework assignments, and classwork activities are going to be worth 20% of your final grade. You have 2 projects which are worth 20% of your grade. You have 14 quizzes which are worth 40% of your grade. and you have a final exam, which is part 1 and 2 that you need to complete for 20% of your grade, and therefore there is the grading scale. Now, attendance. Attendance will be taken at the start of each class period. You are responsible for missed material. Class will begin promptly and end as scheduled. Quizzes will be timed, therefore late students will have less time to complete their work. Now, the quizzes are going to be accessed online, and we'll discuss that when we're in class. A student who adds a class or registers after the first day of classes is counted absent from all weeks missed. To promote student success, CMC has approved the implementation of an instructor-initiated drop policy. When a student has been absent from classes to such an extent that his or her success is at risk, the instructor has the option of dropping the student. If a student has missed 12.5%, about 5 classes this semester without notifying myself with a satisfactory explanation, the student may be dropped by the instructor. This calculation includes absences occurring during add and drop period. See also the withdrawal policy in the syllabus for more information. Per the college's attendance policy, faculty has the right to develop a more stringent policy as well. Students who do not attend or participate in class by the deadline to drop for tuition refund may be deleted from the course. If you quit participating in this class, you should not assume that I would drop you. Should you choose to drop, ultimately it is your responsibility to officially withdraw. Materials. An online statistical calculator will be a necessary tool for this course. Now, I will also have calculators available in class. As schools transition to remote learning, Texas Instruments, the company that makes the TI-84 graphing calculators used in class, is pleased to offer all students and teachers free 6-month software licenses for the TI SmartView CE emulator software for the TI-84 Plus graphing family. The video instructions are available on Canvas, and only devices that are specifically math calculators will be allowed for quizzes. Now, again, I will have physical graphing calculators available in class, but if you are online and you're at home, then you can download also the software for that. In addition to the calculator, we'll also be using Statcrunch, which is part of your subscription when you purchase My Stat Lab. We will be using the data analysis package Statcrunch in this course. Statcrunch is an online data analysis tool and much more. Statcrunch is included in your subscription when you purchase the access code for My Stat Lab. You will be able to access Statcrunch with your assignments. Now, Statcrunch is kind of equivalent to what you would see like Excel. And you're going to be able to use that information to be able to generate some of the information you need for your projects. Now, method of instruction. I will be using a flipped class format for this course. This means that the lecture is delivered via video outside of class, and in class we focus on application activities. For most classes, prior to coming into class, you will be provided the guided notes and watch a video lecture on My Stat Lab, do some reading, and complete a pre-assignment on these assigned activities. In class, we will go over the guided notes and will engage in other activities such as hands-on experiment demonstrations, individual or small group problem solving, or discussion of an assigned reading. While watching lectures outside of class, please make sure to take notes as you normally would during a lecture. When doing your pre-class activities, make note of any questions you have and be sure to bring these up in class. Note that this class format requires you to do some work, substantial work in preparation for each class meeting. This work will help with your learning. Course grading and information. This course is delivered through an online course management system called My Stat Lab and information that you will have on Canvas. Registration for My Stat Lab is required on the first day. Now, everyone has an opportunity regardless if you don't have an access code, because there is an option of signing up for a 14-day temporary passcode. Within My Stat Lab, there is the online and interactive text. Since a website does not have a physical textbook to access, I have provided an online text in a PDF format located in the modules on Canvas. Each chapter of the text that we are going to study has 3 parts described below. Registration and video instructions are located on Canvas, and the assignments are graded automatically by the website and synced to Canvas. For the first part, Part 1, you have Interactive Reading Assignments, IRA. This is your pre-assignment. This is what you would do prior to coming into class. These assignments are to be completed prior to the day this section is covered in class. The IRA is where the course content is delivered to you via reading assignments, video presentation, examples, also with video solutions, interactive activities, and assessment questions. You earn points by watching videos and completing the activities. You begin each section by working through the IRA and filling in the guided notebook, which you'll see below. Some of the IRA's examples will have multiple video solutions. In this case, you should watch the Statcrunch and the TI 384 Plus video solutions. The guided notebook. As previously stated, this is an activity manual located on Canvas that you can access, download, and print. This is a place where you can take notes on the information given in the interactive reading assignment lectures by filling in all the information from the slides in the notebook. This will be a valuable resource for you as you work through the online homework assignment for each section, as well as the quizzes and all the quizzes that we have over the corresponding material. Pay close attention to the homework videos located in Canvas. This will be helpful to you as you move along with your homework assignments. What I mean by paying close attention is that each assignment, whether it's in the IRA or your homework, I have created online videos. So you're able to see how they're done, whether it's by hand, whether it's by using the calculator or Statcrunch. So you have all that information that's available to you on Canvas. Part 2, section homework. So in class, you're going to have a class activity, which is a short little activity, and then you're going to complete your section homework in class. So upon completion of the section's IRA that you have before class, you will complete the section's homework in class. So that allows you to get substantial help from me, the instructor. So for example, in Chapter 1, you're going to begin with Section 1.1 by reading the IRA, and once you're completed with that, in class, you're going to proceed to 1.1 homework. Now, to move from the IRA in a section to the online homework for the section, you must get at least 70% on the IRA for that section. In other words, for example, to do the online homework for Section 1.1, you must receive at least 70% for the IRA for Section 1.1. Problems can be worked on until a correct answer is obtained. So again, as I stated, you have videos to help you get that 70% on that IRA. Part 3, you have an end of the chapter review quiz. So each week you have a quiz on the sections covered for that week. All assignments above are located on my Stat Lab and are due at the end of each week. Now please review the late penalty policy further below in the syllabus. Projects. You are required to do 2 applied real-world data analysis projects. The first project is a data analysis comparison report where you collect, analyze, and compare 2 quantitative data sets. The final project will be to collect and analyze data and perform a research hypothesis test to answer an important question about the world around us. For both projects, you will be making PowerPoint slides to explain your results and findings. You will see the tentative schedule below for the due dates, in addition to what you see there. The description for each project are in the modules on Canvas. Project deadlines, you can see the dates for those 2. Quizzes and final exam. There will be 14 online quizzes plus a comprehensive final exam, parts 1 and 2, that are required to complete. There are 2 parts to the mandatory final exam. Final exam part 1 is a 5-question exam placed on Canvas as a downloadable file. We will discuss that in class, if that's the way it's going to be done. Final exam part 2 will be located on my Stat Lab. Passwords for the quizzes and final exam are in the outline of each week, located on Canvas. The final exam can replace your lowest quiz score using the following approach. It is my policy to replace the student's lowest quiz grade with the final exam at the end of the course, provided that that final exam is higher than that lowest quiz grade. So for this reason, I do not give makeup quizzes. A missed quiz will be recorded as a 0 and then replaced accordingly at the end of the semester. Missing the final will also result in a 0, and I do not drop the final exam grade. The instructor has the right to adjust this policy under special circumstances. Please make note, there are no extensions for quizzes or final exams. Due dates, late penalties, and technical difficulties. All interactive homework, quizzes, review assignments, and for your class, they're not stat discussion questions, have the following late penalty policy. Students submitting work for course assignments after the due date are subject to a penalty of 5% of the points possible for the assignment per day. That means for each day passing after the due date. So for example, submissions posted after the due date within 24 hours of the date the assignment is due will be penalized 5% of the potential value of the assignment. Submissions posted between 24 and 48 hours after the due date may be penalized by up to 10%, etc. Due dates will not be extended because of technical difficulties. The deadlines on these assignments are not extended, and you must make plans to complete these. Due dates for online assignments are clearly stated in My Stat Lab. Activities. During class, you will be participating in instructor-led activities using your completed guided notebook over the required material. You will be required to keep up with the guided notes, activities, as well as any class handouts, and be prepared to turn in a portion of this material on test day. This will count as an activity grade for the unit. Additionally, throughout the semester, you may have the opportunity to practice what you know by taking quizzes either online or in class on paper. So, what I mean by that is there may be a small quiz that I may offer to you that may not be online, and I will announce that in class. Phones. Phones must be turned off and put away during class. It is very disruptive to have students using their phones during class or leaving the room to take calls. Please plan before class so your attention can be focused on the class material. Studies show that students distracted by phones in class are less likely to succeed. Just having the phone on the desk is a distraction. People that need to get in touch with you can leave a message and you can answer them on the break or after class. Classroom etiquette. The environment in this class will be one that allows each student to learn to the best of their ability. Any disruption to a congenial atmosphere will be addressed, and the student may be asked to either leave the class for the day or to initiate a withdrawal. Please speak to myself about any concerns that you may have about classroom behavior. Also, refer to the student handbook for specific discipline policies of the college. Please do not bring food or drinks into the room. Students with Disabilities Access. Students with disabilities, whether physical, learning, or psychological, who may need academic support in the classroom are encouraged to contact Access as soon as possible to ensure that appropriate accommodations and/or services are implemented. Okay, so further information about this program may be found on the Copper Mountain College website and in the Office of Student Services at the Access counter. So please visit the website and for more information there, or call the following number in that extension. Military-friendly statement. Veterans and active duty military personnel with special circumstances, e.g. upcoming deployments, drill requirements, disabilities, are welcome and encouraged to communicate these in advance, if possible, to the instructor. Equal opportunity statement. Copper Mountain College is committed to equal employment opportunity for all persons and to provide educational and employment opportunities free from discrimination based on ethnic group identification, national origin, religion, age, veteran status, sex, race, color, ancestry, sexual orientation, or physical or mental favors, and other physical or verbal conduct or communication constituting sexual harassment. Disclaimer. Changes in curriculum grading standards and other requirements could change as necessary. It is the student's responsibility to know and understand all policies, procedures, and requirements for Copper Mountain College and this class. Any concerns should be directed to your instructor, the appropriate chair, or college administrator in that order. Information in the syllabus is subject to change, and any important changes will be announced in class, and you'll be provided with an updated syllabus. Okay, so here is the tentative schedule. Okay, so you can see here the tentative schedule says the course schedule may change at the discretion of the instructor. However, students will be notified in writing when any changes or additions are made to the schedule. So when you come in on Tuesday, okay, at this point, you want to make sure that you have the IRAs done for section 1.1 and 1.2. And then when you're in class, we're going to go over section 1.1 and 1.2 homework in addition to an activity to help you with that. Same thing with Thursday. Prior to coming in on Thursday, you want to make sure that the IRAs on my stat lab are completed for sections 1.3 and 1.4. And then when you come into class, we're going to have an activity, and then you'll have ample time to go over this homework. Because once you complete all the homework in this week, then you'll be able to complete quiz number 1. And that'll be due by Sunday by 11:59 p.m. on my stat lab. And we'll continue to do the same thing for each particular week. Okay, so there is a timeline. You can take a look at when things are due. Okay, and then here is a student statement on plagiarism that you're able to read in regards to your project. And then this is the course information outline that you'll be seeing in the class. So this concludes the syllabus. Okay, and in addition to, before concluding the syllabus, we do want to go over the COVID-19 information. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic and current transmission rates, in-person classes have special requirements. Copper Mountain College's COVID protocols are based on current Cal-OSHA, Centers for Disease Control, California Department of Public Health, and other local and regulatory agency guidelines. As guidelines may change, classroom requirements may be updated. Students are required to follow any updated COVID protocol subsequent to the receipt of the syllabus. Current guidelines are based on CDC recommendations for areas with substantial or high transmission. Masks. Students and faculty are required to wear masks in the classroom. The Cal-OSHA definition of a mask or face covering is a tightly woven fabric or non-woven material with no visible holes or openings that covers the nose and mouth. If a student forgets their mask, one will be provided to them. Masks are available in each classroom. If a student has a medical condition that would limit their ability to use a mask, the student is to contact the Dean of Student Services, Jen O'Tonnell, at extension 5294 or the email to discuss an exemption. Masks are not required outdoors. Preventing the transmission of COVID. If a student feels sick, they are required to stay home and not come to campus. Non-contact temperatures may be taken at the discretion of the instructor. If you have a temperature of above 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, you will not be permitted to enter the classroom. Classrooms have disinfectant wipes provided if students wish to sanitize their seat desk area upon entering the room. Students are encouraged to use the hand sanitizer provided in the classroom. Students should expect a fixed seating arrangement in the class. Testing positive for COVID. If a student tests positive for COVID, the student must isolate and notify the instructor of the in-person course or courses they are attending. All COVID cases are reported to the college community. However, no personal identifying information is shared. The isolation period varies depending on the situation of the student. Please find CDC's recommendations for your situation below. Close contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID. Close contact means the following. You are unvaccinated and you are within 6 feet of someone who has COVID-19 for a total of 15 minutes or more. You provided care at home to someone who was sick with COVID-19. You had direct physical contact with the person, hugged or kissed them. You shared eating or drinking utensils. They sneezed, coughed, or somehow got respiratory droplets on you. Unvaccinated exposed students should self-isolate and follow the CDC recommended steps. Fully vaccinated students do not need to isolate if they are found to have been in close contact with a person with COVID. They may continue to attend class, however, it is recommended they get tested 3 to 5 days after exposure.